Hey everyone, I'm back with my review of 192, and the first part, I know I usually don't do two parts for this, but seeing as though I got this yesterday, and well, let's just get on with it, okay? I'm going to do something I don't usually do, that's why I'm doing a two-parter, and that is reviewing the side story, which is called Father and Son, in which we see Scourge sneaking into Sonic's home to try to attack Sonic while he's sleeping. And instead, Scourge encounters Sonic's father. Now basically what we have is that basically what it is that Jules kind of tells Scourge that he almost died saving his son once, and that he will do whatever it takes to protect him again. And Scourge is like, well, that's cute, you're trying to prove you're not afraid of me? And, Jules basically says, what's to be afraid of? From him. Because in this world is full of people who are heroic and are willing to do the right thing. But seeing as though his world is opposite, it just proves that his world, to Jules, is full of nothing but cowards, each doing their part to ruin that world. Well, and that's why Scourge doesn't scare Jules, and that's why he says to Scourge, you don't scare me, because I know at your core, you're a coward just as well. And Scourge points out, coward? I conquered my planet on my own. And he goes, you brought a different brand of ruination. And Scourge is like, well, try again, Pops. On my world, we had a time called the Great Peace. And that his father, his Jules, was a part of that, brought everyone together in one big group hug. But then 10 years later, everything has stagnant or whatever and fallen apart. And he's saying he didn't ruin the world, he broke it up. It's good. And Jules is like, well, that's your answer to everything? Violent takeover and anarchy? And Scourge is like, well, it's not really anarchy, seeing as though everyone's bowing to him. And Scourge points out says, well, it seems you're so hung up on the correlations. And basically points out, well, how do you like this correlation? Sonic's dad isn't really a Mobian anymore, and that his dad simply isn't. Basically saying his dad's dead, his Jules is dead. And Jules is basically blowing him off, saying, hey, you trying to, shock me, scare me, intimidate, scare me? And he points out that falls short when the mighty world conquering king has to sneak out in the middle of the night to get the leg up on his son. In other words, to get an advantage on his son. And Scourge is like, hey, Sonic's good at smashing bots. Want to see what I can do? Basically saying, hey, you want to see what I could do to you? And Jules just gets back up saying, I'm not your father. I was on the front lines of the Great War. I won't go quietly. And basically points out, well, you may not care what happened to your father, your Jules. That he's pretty sure Sonic will definitely have something to say about what happens to him. Or in other words, will be very upset. And it's like, do you want that on your head? And Scourge leaves with tears in his eyes, saying, it's just a bunch of empty words. You're no different from my own father. And that's about the end of that. And we see Brina coming in asking who Jules is talking to, and he says, nobody. In other words, what we just saw there is it's obvious that Scourge never got any attention from his father. And that every time his father said something, it was nothing but an empty promise. But overall, that story and the main story were pretty good. I like the fact that you see some hints in there of things to come. And I was quite pleasantly surprised by it. So I gave this issue an 8.5 out of 10. I give the side story about the same. And I've got a feeling we're going to have more to see next issue when both Sonic and Amy go into Mobius and try to see what that's all about. But until later, which should be probably just a little bit. I'll be back with my opinions on the subject of Sonic comic book, and I will talk to you all later. Peace out.